How was that?
That's very loud.
Good morning, family. Hi.
Good morning.
Hello, sis.
Good morning. Is today a better day, sis?
No, but it's
Sorry for laughing. I'm not laughing at you. All right.
we're laughing with you. Yes, thank you. Yes.
Mm.
Nope, I'm going through the throes of the last special relationship, and it's been, I won't swear, but it's been pretty gnarly, and it's not over.
Shitty.
So, shitty.
Shitty.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yes, that's okay. That's fine.
I'm grateful. Today's lesson 174. We're still in the reviews. Sis, do you want to start us off?
I'd love to. Thank you. Oh, wait a minute. Let me just try and find the lesson first. That would help. 174, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Hang on. Let me see. I'm in. Okay. Yeah, I got it. Right here. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Okay. I need to repeat this. God is but love, and therefore so am I. So we're going to review lesson 157 next, which is into his presence would I enter now. Before we go ahead, let's prepare the ground for this lesson,
Mm-hmm.
because from what I've experienced recently is that this lesson really needs to be a felt lesson. It needs to be a felt experience. Even if it's only for a split second that we have that felt experience, that's all he needs, is for us to enter into that holy instant without any defenses, without any ego defenses. In that holy instant, that's all it takes for the miracle to occur. So, just to help to prepare the ground for this lesson, I want to ask a question, which is that if God is only love with no opposite, and if our mind holds only the love we share with God with no opposite, then what about all our problems? What about our relationship conflicts? What about the body? What about its pain, so-called sickness,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
What about our worries about our children or our friends or whatever? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what about that, right?
It can't be based on the truth.
Yeah, but it really requires to feel into this question,
Mm-hmm.
not just do an intellectual bypass.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just asking everyone to join us, sis,
Yeah.
here in this, because see, again, just as a reminder, who believes that our problems are real? Who believes that, right?
Yeah.
So it's the mythical me, the mistaken identity. Yeah. And we've got to just realize and take this in, that part of our mind, the split part of our mind, the mythical me that really does believe that it's up against all of this stuff that's constantly seeming to attack us,
Mm-hmm.
is really just a defense,
Right.
a smokescreen that the mythical me has made up to
Mm-hmm.
protect itself from the light of God now, right in this moment. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so grateful that just it's a holy instant. He's asking for 1 second, a moment of being undefended, to allow the holy instant, which is the memory of everything, the felt state, like you said, of the unreality of what we've given so much energy to or belief.
And we can't actually go there. You know this,
Mm-hmm.
sis.
Mm-hmm.
I know this, and I'm sure there are many in our family who also know this or are beginning to recognize it. Yeah. Is that we can't come to God or Holy Spirit with all of our mythical me's baggage.
None.
You know, that's what the holy instant's for. It's like, oh, okay, I have to actually set this baggage aside
Right.
and then open myself, just be willing to open myself to the possibility that there is no baggage
Hmm.
in this holy instant, that I can join with God
Mm-hmm.
in this holy instant. And it's not like I need to earn his love or qualify for his love.
Mm-hmm.
He already loves me regardless.
Mm-hmm.
The only block is my resistance to receiving his love in this moment. So my focus is taken off all my problems
Mm-hmm.
and I leave an opening.
Which is a fearless state, because if we have, like you said, if we want to bring our baggage with us, if we have any thoughts of fear, fear and love cannot coexist in the same mind. It's one or the other. One completely eradicates the other from our awareness. So it's in a place of willing to drop our fears and the stories associated with those fears.
Yes.
Be open to allow the love that we are. It's not coming to us. It's the memory arising in our awareness that we already are that love.
Yeah, because when he says here, into his presence I would enter now. This morning, joining with Jesus, I heard him say, into your presence I would enter now.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of, I was like, oh, did I hear that right? Into your presence I would enter now. The false humility came up
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and went, no, 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 no. You can't say that to me. Jesus can't say that to me. And it was just an interesting moment where I stopped myself and went, okay, I give me the full enchilada. What are you saying? Give me the felt state
Yeah.
of that. Jesus, you're saying, into your presence I would enter now.
Now,
Okay, what do you mean? I'm going to lay this false humility down. What do you mean?
mm-hmm.
Okay. And what he showed me was that if I was willing to enter into the grace-filled state of my holy self that I share with Jesus and all of this beautiful family here, I do enter the presence of God. They're one and the same. And it's all here. It's in here. Are we willing? You know, this is the altar to God. This here, not mythical me. This here is the altar to God. And to reach it, we must be willing to leave our shoes at the door when we enter.
Yeah. Which means none of Nouk, when he said, into your presence I would enter. It's the presence of the Christ that we are. That's not a felt state until there's no mythical me.
That's it.
Mythical me does not become holy. Mythical me does not become powerful. Mythical me can't be enhanced. It has to be completely let go. And I'm realizing that through our joinings with all of you, this desire to enter in has just become so strong, and that the last holdouts, the mind attacks seem so strong just because fear is the only thing that the mythical me is holding on to before it's no longer. It has to interject fear in some way, and it's always going to go to the ego's go-to, which is what I'm facing right now. It's like the jugular of the ego thought system, and it'll use it to shake your cage, so that you'll maintain that little fear, so you don't go to that state that Nouk just beautifully transmitted to all of us. That's really what we're terrified. It's not about the story. It's about just dropping all the false humility and stepping into the fact that we are holy.
That's it. One instant. Thank you, sis, for joining me, joining us there. Thank you. I felt that so strongly.
Well, your body disappeared, sis. I was looking into your eye, and all of a sudden it was just like I just saw light, and I just was. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful healing, sis. Thank you. This is, and we'll get into this in the next lesson or two, but this is the receiving that's required in order to give. This is it. And the ego can't stand to receive this holy instant of love, my God. And yet all healing, not just for ourselves, but for everyone, is in that.
Right. And we're so afraid of it until we experience each other in this way. We just dodge it. We hide from it. We hide behind our masks.
Well, we
know damn well why we're hiding, but then it's like that's the ego, terrified of what happens in our joinings. And every day we come together like this, and there's just this, I want this. This is real. This is all I want. When I go back to the world, it's just so shallow. It holds nothing that I want. But we come here and we do this, and it's like, this is what I want, And your desire is all powerful. Like in this world, our desire is what we experience. The power of our mind, meaning, what we desire is, it's what we experience. And so is when we desire to let go of the separation. Oh man, that's the greatest gift of all. There's just nothing else that you want.
Yeah, there's a massive, what would you call, a massive pseudo wall that the ego places up as well, which is, it feels that when we share our emotional vulnerability together like this, especially in public, what the hell is the word public? It's the ego's idea of separation. There is no public.
Right.
But see, that's that wall. It says, I will not take this wall down, and show my emotional vulnerability. Right. And yet that's where the liberation is. That's where true union, that's where true joining occurs. It's in that. It's in that. It's in that being real,
Right.
Thank you.
So if we're wearing masks, we're not available for the holy instant to occur. And in the holy instance where you remember what you are. So that's why the ego's it is terrified of love.
It is terrified.
Yep.
Yeah, it is terrified. And, I find, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, sis, we've talked about this before. I find that it's really in my showing up in emotional vulnerability. It's in that willingness to go there, which really is the threshold, right? It's the threshold into the light.
Yes.
That's when I get guidance directly from Jesus or from Holy Spirit. That it just floods in then. But it's the last place that we feel safe through Mythical Me, is in that emotional vulnerability, because we've still got our defenses up.
Yes.
defense is to love.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Don't get too close to that brother because a holy instant might occur and the memory of what you are would arise, which would shine the light that what you thought you were doesn't even exist in truth, but what you are is, one with God. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
No, thanks.
Really feeling this. Beautiful. Okay, I'll keep going, yeah?
Mm.
Because we're not even halfway through the lesson yet. Who cares? Okay, I'm hearing.
It's a summary, sis. Don't worry about it. It's
Okay,
just,
thank you.
the highlights.
Thank you. So, into his presence would I enter now. Into his presence would I enter now, which is we have to be willing to enter into our own presence as the Christ in order to enter into his presence because they're one. They're one. Okay. Let me share some beautiful teaching from lesson 157 here. Jesus says this is a day of silence and of trust. This day is holy, for it ushers in a new experience, a different kind of feeling and awareness. You have spent long days and nights in celebrating death. Today, you learn to feel the joy of life.
Mm.
Today, it will be given you to feel a touch of heaven, though you will return to paths of learning. Yet you have come far enough along the way to alter time sufficiently to rise above its laws and walk into eternity a while. This is this holy instant, which can go as long as we want, right?
Right.
He will direct your practicing today, for what you ask for now is what he wills. Do you know how powerful that is? What you ask for now is what he wills. You see, there are not two different wills. There's not me and God,
Right.
me and Holy Spirit. There's just one will, and that is the love of God we are, the will of God we are. And remember, ultimately, forever, God wills our perfect happiness. So why would we will apart from our perfect happiness? Crazy stuff, right?
Mhm.
So for what you ask for now is what he wills. And having joined your will with his this day, what you are asking must be given you. Oh, underlined. I've got it underlined here.
Me too. Yes.
Okay. Into his presence would I enter now. Can you feel that?
Yeah.
Like really, really feel it. From this day forth, your ministry takes on a genuine devotion and a glow that travels from your fingertips to those you touch and blesses those you look upon. A vision reaches everyone you meet, and everyone you think of or who thinks of you. For your experience today will so transform your mind that it becomes the touchstone for the holy thoughts of God. In other words, it becomes a touchstone for all our brothers and sisters. It's huge. Your body will be sanctified today. Breathe that in. Your body will be sanctified today. Its only purpose being now to bring the vision of what you experience this day to light the world. That's it. Into Christ's presence, we will enter now, serenely unaware of everything except his shining face and perfect love. The vision of his face will stay with you today. Wow. Thank you.
Thank you, sis.
And the second part of this lesson
Yeah.
is today I learn to give as I receive. God is but love, and therefore so am I. So today I learn to give as I receive. I've got a little note here.
Mm-hmm.
As we open to receive the love we are, which is what we just were talking about before, we begin to recognize our own holiness, our own innocence. This is the light we learn to give through forgiveness.
Yes.
That's the light. That's it. We
And then,
learn to give that, right?
yeah, that's Christ vision.
That is Christ vision. Thank you, sis. That's it.
Yeah. He said, when he asks what has been given you, we've all been given the knowledge that we are mind.
Right.
In the mind of God, purely mind, sinless, forever, holy, and afraid, because created out of love. And then he's talking about the teacher does not give experience. The teacher of God does not give experience because he did not learn it. It revealed itself to him at its appointed time. So we can't create this experience, but vision is his gift. This he can give directly, for Christ's knowledge is not lost because he has a vision he can give to anyone who asks. And then dropping down, there is a vision which the Holy Spirit sees because the mind of Christ beholds it too. Our concern is with Christ's vision. This we can attain. Christ's vision has one law. It does not look upon a body and mistake it for the Son whom God created. It beholds a light beyond the body, an idea beyond what can be touched, a purity undimmed by errors, pitiful mistakes, and fearful thoughts of guilt from dreams of sin. It sees no separation, and it looks on everyone, on every circumstance, all happenings, and all events without the slightest fading of the light it sees. And finally, and this you give today. See no one as a body. Greet him as the Son of God he is, acknowledging that he is one with you in holiness.
Mm.
That's what we give as we receive.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I was so tempted, to be seeing myself as I am not, and to join with sis and to have, to see that she's not moved in anything that's being shared, but her, the agreement in the holy relationship, the gift is Christ's vision to look beyond one's turmoil in the story and to just see the light beyond and to speak to that and to witness to that, to call that forward, to reaffirm that in a brother or sister who seems to be out of alignment, right? We receive it for ourselves, we see it, and the light in our mind is joining with the light in somebody else's mind, that they are pure mind, one with me in holiness. They're not the body, they're not the story, they're not mythical me. And out of love for the Father and the Son, that's what I relate to, the light.
Thank you, sis, because when we see somebody as a body, when we are seduced by the illusion of that in whatever form it may take, communication is actually broken.
That's right.
Which means that instead of light, there's darkness there.
Yeah.
We've broken the communication of light. We've blocked it. Yeah.
And it's attack, right?
Yeah.
Seeing somebody as a body and not the light that they are, bolstering and bearing witness to how our brother could never be, that's attack. That's seeing them as separate and guilty and sinful. Because why? Because we want to see ourselves as separate and guilty. The mythical me still holds some value for us. So that's what we waffle between.
but no judgment here,
Just to
because as you know, when we begin this, there's tremendous self-judgment when we see the shit of the ego thought system of mythical me. When we see it, we're in horror, and go, oh my God, I'm never going to make it. I've got to be the most sinful person in the universe. Yeah, well, that's the ego again.
Yeah.
It's about accepting the atonement. That's when the light is unobstructed as we accept the atonement. In that moment, go, well, I must have been mistaken.
Yeah, and a mistake can be corrected, whereas if we really, our condemnation, the self-judgment, keeps it real in our mind, why would we be judging it unless we thought what we did was real and had some effect? So the judgment keeps it real and beyond the help of Holy Spirit because it's sin. But look at what he's saying in this lesson about today I learned to give as I receive. We were just talking about see nobody as a body, see the light beyond, right? And see and bear witness to that. And then listen to this. Thus are his sins, like your brother's believing that he's separate. He believes the turmoil in his story. But when you are willing, because of love, to overlook and go straight to the light beyond the body, the result is, thus are his sins forgiven him, for Christ has vision, which has power to overlook them all. In his, Christ's forgiveness, the sins are gone. Unseen by one, capital O, Christ, they merely disappear because a vision of the holiness which lies beyond them comes to take their place. And this is so comforting. Well, we're trying to judge ourselves and it's so big and I'll never get it. He says, it matters not what form they took, nor how enormous they appeared to be, nor who seemed to be hurt by them. They are no more, and all effects they seem to have are gone with them, undone, and never to be done. This is what the power in the mind of Christ that we have to offer to another brother, to undo his belief in sin and separation and all the effects. Why would we not extend that to a brother? I mean, this is what we do when we forgive and we just overlook to the truth. What freedom.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful, sis.
Thank you. I'm
Thank
just really
you for
feeling
sharing
it
that.
for myself. Yeah.
Thank you. Feel better now?
Yeah. I was feeling guilty about, being used by ego and hurting a brother. And it's like, here, it matters not what form it took or how enormous it appeared to be, nor who seemed to be hurt by them. They are no more, and all the effects. So you really can't truly hurt anyone, and what you thought you did wasn't done, and any effects that seem to have extended from them are undone, never to be done. They were never done in the forgiveness and the recognition that separation has not occurred. Yeah, just working it through. I'm grateful.
I'm grateful too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, sis.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me and all of us together.
Thanks.
To do this together, because in the quantum or the holographic healing waves that are occurring from these joinings are beyond my imagination.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I feel it.
we've both had glimpses. I know brothers had glimpses of how the ripple effects from these joinings with all of you, how much it's going to heal or is already healing. It's healing me, and I'm not alone. So, thanks everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
We'll
you,
see you
sis.
next
We
time,
will
guys.
see you in the morning.
Yes, see you
Yeah.
in the morning. Okay.